Okay, so maybe I didn't need my trusty cutter for this unboxing here, but this is the brand new $49 or $49.99 Amazon Fire tablet. It's a 7-inch Android tablet, and yes, it is $50, which is the big selling point on this. I had the original Amazon Fire tablet, and now I have a Fire TV. I love the Fire TV, and now I'm going to go back into the Fire tablet because it's so inexpensive. $50 for a tablet, that's a great price. Now, in order to get that $50 price tag, you do need to agree to having the advertisements on your lock screen here, but that's not a big deal. I did want to see what that was all about. Now, the interesting thing is that this comes in sort of an envelope instead of a box. So on the back here, before we open this thing up, it shows that it has a 7-inch display. That's 1040 or 1024 by 600. Of course, it has Wi-Fi. Every tablet does. It's an 8 GB tablet, quad-core processor in it, front and rear cameras, and it has a micro SD card slot, so you can put up to 128 gigabytes of a micro SD card in there if you'd like. So, it should be pretty interesting. Let's get this thing open. I'll just open it the way it's intended to be opened with this little pull tab here. So, there we go. And let's get this thing out of here. That's pretty much everything in the box there. And that's really all you need. You just need the tablet here, and the cord, and the wall plug. Everything else just kind of explains to you how you plug this in, and that's all self-explanatory. It also tells you, what ports are what and what buttons are what. So let's put that to the side and take a look at the wall plug. Very small, regular USB. Here's your USB port, or USB cord actually, that you use to plug it in. And here is the 7-inch tablet. So a 7-inch tablet is almost as big as some phones these days. Not for me though, I kind of top out at 5 inches on a phone, but I know some people like their big phones. Anyway, this is the Amazon Fire tablet, the budget tablet. You have your front-facing camera here, of course your 7-inch screen here. You have a decent sized bezel around here, and as far as I'm concerned, you always want some sort of a bezel on a tablet because you do want to be able to hold this thing. On the top here is where you have all of your controls and all of your ports. You have your power button here. You have your micro USB port here. You have what appears to be a microphone up here. You have your volume rocker, and you have your 3.5mm headphone jack. Everything is this matte black plastic here. You have your Amazon branding embossed into the back there, which is actually glossy, but everything else is matte. You have your rear-facing camera here, and you have what appears to be the micro SD card slot on the side here. There we go. Open that up. Put up to a 128 gigabyte card in there. I don't remember what size card I have, but I will be using that and upgrading this tablet. On the bottom here, it looks like you have your speaker here, then all of your little FCC branding and whatnot. You can see the profile of this thing. Sort of has rounded edges. Same this way. On the bottom there's nothing. On the left side of the tablet there's nothing. And of course the right side of the tablet is only that micro SD card slot. So let's start with the micro SD card slot. I have a 64 gigabyte Samsung micro SD card, and what I want to do is I want to put it in a little slot here. So let's just install that first. And this is before I'm actually turning on the device for the first time. So let's see if I get this in the right way the first time. There we go. Close it up. And there we go. So again, this is an 8 gigabyte tablet, and I just added 64 gigabytes of storage to it. So let's fire this up for the first time. Let's press the power button up here, and let's see if it has a charge on it. It appears to have a charge on it. Amazon splash screen. It says normal boot over there. I don't know if I held the power button too long or if that's just what happens when you turn it on for the first time, but you get the Fire splash screen here. And a 7-inch tablet is a good size. Let's see, it says Fire starting applications. Now I don't know if this is going to be associated with my Amazon Prime membership, but we'll see. Up in the upper left-hand corner it says My Fire, and it looks like we have 76% battery on here as it was shipped. Now it wants me to select my language. Of course I'm speaking English and I'm in the United States, so let's hit continue on here. But also before I do that, you can actually pick the text size down here. So if this is too small for you here, you can change it up. This is on the smallest size, that's medium, and that's large. For right now I'm going to keep it on the smallest size. I assume that you can change it over time if you want. But being that it's a 7-inch screen, you don't want, or I don't want the text so large that you have to scroll around to see everything. 7 inches is a decent enough size where I can read, everything that's on there at this size, but we'll see. I would assume again that you can change this in the settings. So let me hit continue here. So next up it wants me to connect to my Wi-Fi, and it has a list of Wi-Fi hotspots in my area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select mine and sign into my home wireless network, and I'll join you on the other side of that. Okay, so up next it says software update. I assume that things like this happen in this day and age because when you get something brand new, a lot of the times they have already updated the firmware for the device, so you have to go through this little process here. So it says it'll take a few minutes. Right now it's at 2%. I'll let it do what it's going to do, and I'll probably just speed this up for you so you can actually see the process, but don't have to sit through it in its entirety. Okay, that process took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but that's all right. This is the next step. It says Family Setup. You can set up the device to use and share with your family, or set it up just for you. Each member of your family has a personalized experience just for them, including a custom home screen, collections, and preferences. If you're familiar with Android tablets, you know that user accounts are available on them, so this is no different than that. I don't know how similar this is to the old Fire OS tablets. I know they're going a lot closer to stock Android with these new tablets, so we'll see, or I'll get to see it when I actually fire this up. Now it says adult profiles, which is something that I'll be using. It says that you can have 2 adult profiles, assuming that would be 2 parents if this was going to a family. You can have 2 adult profiles, add the second adult in Profiles and Family Library Settings. Share management of parental controls, share content with Family Library, and share Prime benefits. Then you can set up child profiles, and you can have up to 4 of those. It defaults here to setting up a child profile, and it says you can choose from over 10,000 kid-friendly titles with Amazon Free Time Unlimited. You can also share books, videos, and apps you've purchased. I don't have any children other than my cats, and I don't think they're going to be using this. So I'm going to hit Not Now, and you can always add the profiles later on if you'd like to. So I'm going to hit Continue down here, and enable location services, allow maps and other apps and Amazon to use location and related information. Generally, I don't do that, just in case I'm taking a picture with this device. I don't want it to be geolocated. So I'm going to go no thanks on this, but again, this is something you can always change in your settings. And if you're not so concerned with it, you can hit the enable button. I'm just going to go with no thanks down here. Okay, the next screen here is backup and autosave. The first selection up here is backup and restore. You can back up your Fire settings, bookmarks, search history, email, and wireless configurations, and more to the cloud so that you can restore the Fire device later. I'm actually going to turn that one off. I don't need to do that. I'm probably going to turn all of these off, but I'll go through them all so you know what I'm talking about. The next one is save Wi-Fi passwords to Amazon. I don't really need to do that. I can always sign in whenever I need to. We'll see if I have to in order whenever I turn this device on, if it requires me to save the password to Amazon, I prefer if it just saves it on the device here. But basically what this wants to do is save my Wi-Fi password to Amazon in the cloud, like Amazon.com. And there's really no reason for that. I mean, the reason they give here is so, if you have another Amazon Fire device that's associated with your account, then it will automatically know all your Wi-Fi passwords. I only want that Wi-Fi password to be stored on this device and not to Amazon because, number one, I do have an Amazon Fire TV, but I don't need Amazon knowing my Wi-Fi password. And it's really, I'm not one of those people that's overly concerned about privacy, but when I have a situation to secure my home wireless network, I prefer to have it as secure as possible, and I don't want to have any openings in that security. So, Amazon, you can probably trust Amazon, but I just don't find it necessary at this time, so I'm going to turn that one off as well. Then it says auto save photos and videos. Again, I don't really need anything pushed up to the cloud. I would prefer to moderate that myself because a lot of the times when I take pictures, I'm taking pictures of things I'm selling on eBay because I'm not wealthy enough to keep everything that I review on this channel. So I have to sell pretty much everything that I review unless I'm using it. So the vast majority of pictures I actually take, especially with a tablet like this, will be of things that I'm selling and I don't really want to keep them. So I'm just going to turn that off as well here. Down here is a no thanks option or a continue option. Since I think I turned them all off, I think I can hit continue, but just to be safe, I'm going to hit no thanks because I'm not sure what the switch looks like when it's off or when it's on. But again, I assume I turned them off. The next up is connect your social networks. I don't really use my social networks all that much, so I'm not going to connect anything, but you have option to connect your Twitter account, your Facebook account, or your Goodreads account. I've never really heard of Goodreads, but those are options for you. I'm going to hit continue down here. Okay, the next screen here is protect your Fire. Normally I don't purchase any kind of warranty on any device that I have because number one, I probably sell it before the warranty is up, and number two, I've had good luck with it, and number three, this is a very inexpensive tablet. So it's offering this Fire protection here, or Amazon Fire tablet protection for $15.99. I'm gonna risk it, and I'm not gonna do it. But if you'd like, you could do it, and you get 2-year protection with that. So I'm gonna hit no thanks down here, and continue.